Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll get a look at Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers as they match up with the second-year man Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They're hot as can be. Winners of 8 of their last 9 games.
I don't know if you'd call this start a surprise exactly, but they've proven that they're going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with anybody.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Here we go.
Garoppolo on first down. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. In last week's game for Kittle, there are the numbers. 6 catches, 53 yards, and a touchdown.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here we go.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. Garoppolo to Goodwin there for a 49er first. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage. And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you? Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action him or stick something to him between the 2nd and the 3rd level. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a third and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of
pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Willie Henry muscled his way in for the sack.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
Last year's NFL leader in field goal percentage, Robbie Gould, on for the Niners field goal. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. CD, you know there were quite a few Bears fans back in January saying, why didn't we hold on to that Robbie Gould guy?
Well, it's a legitimate question. 33 of 34 for San Francisco in 2018. The crazy stat of the year, he missed more extra points, 2, than he did field goals, 1, in the 2018 season.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 34. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A look there at Ingram's numbers from a week ago. 16 carries, 59 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football. Give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on. But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson, escaping the pressure right. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson. And he's got the rookie from Oklahoma, Marquise Brown. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up 2nd down.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Jackson now to throw again. Dancing to his left. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Marquise Brown, the rookie, his intended target. That'll bring up second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. To throw again is Jackson. It's complete to Brown, right side. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Again, Jackson. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Don't forget, later tonight, Sunday Night Football, we've got the Pats and the Texans from NRG Stadium in Houston. And then tomorrow night, Monday Night Football, it's supposed to be really cold up in Seattle as we've got the Vikings and the Seahawks from CenturyLink Field at 8:15 Eastern. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Garoppolo. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Willie Henry able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a 3rd and about 14.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Garoppolo now. Goodwin able to haul it in. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Garoppolo in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he's got this down to the 35. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a 1st down as well.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. And if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Well, they obviously red man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
think. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then he curls back inside for the completion.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Throwing again here on 2nd down, this time complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Garoppolo, 9 of 11 passing in this 1st half. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And across the goal line, into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And once again, the 49ers are back out in front.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and the lead is now 10-7. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
I don't don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
The tackle there by Richard Sherman.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
I'm here all day.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's got Snead. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Let's go.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
That's it. Mike 56. Mike 56. All right,
they'll throw on first down with Jackson. Incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and now it's 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Back to the running game. It's Ingram, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd.
Here we go.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Andrews. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your time.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
56. Mike 56. Right there. 56.
Here's Jackson. Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result. That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now the pass brought in by Roberts. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And just like that, it's third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball.
Oh, now Breida loses it, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Call that a very strong gain of 24. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Ingram with his second TD of the game, his sixth on the year. And the Ravens have once again taken the lead. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Matt Breida in the offense heading back out. He had that critical fumble on the last drive, of course, and that, at least to this point, is the difference in the game.
And when I see those types of things happen, I often take a step back now. Younger in my career, I was probably way more critical about ball security, taking care of it, and what it does to a team. And in this case, it cost his team because ultimately they gave up a touchdown. But I was doing a high school game years ago in the state of Florida. Frank Gore with the Indianapolis Colts was starring in that game, had 3 fumbles in the first half. Ran for over 300 yards and shredded the team. Be very careful about getting on your top runner too much.
Yeah, you can. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A 2-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know that.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. D Ford in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now Jackson on 1st down. Buying time to his left. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They've moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run here with Ingram. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. One man in the backfield. That's Ingram on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he pushes forward, but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
3rd and goal, Jackson. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as it kicks away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Garoppolo gives to Breda. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Back now in Baltimore. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. They'll run with Coleman on first down. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On the handoff, this is Breda. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon, and able to work his way down to the 16. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Hasn't been his best afternoon on the ground, far from it, but a critical 3rd down conversion.
His afternoon just got better. All right, you're exactly right. Hasn't been his best in terms of yardage, but that run there, that's the one your teammates look to you and go, okay, that's what we want from you. That's what we need. Now they have a chance to keep moving forward and a chance to win the game.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change it.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
16 yards, a first down. That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you've got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it, and that gives you an advantage when you do decide to barrel off the line of scrimmage and block people downfield.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a first and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now because is he rewarding himself for a great run or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
Jackson flush to his right. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have broken the tie.
Defensively by now, you know his ability. You know he has it in him to take off and run.
Yeah, because they knew coming into this game, but we've already seen examples in this contest that he can run the football.
I think they're going to examine different ways to rush him now. Are they going to do it with different lanes? Are they going to use a spy? But they have to come up with options because right now, he's hurting them.
Fielded about a yard deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And this one will be brought back to the 22. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him.
56, check 56. Watch the pass.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And an alley to... Oh, no, he lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know you're looking at the scoreboard clock. We're getting near the end of this game. But they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it, a costly turnover. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Ravens have got it.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
This is Ingram on first and 10. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
A gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 4.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Marquise Brown with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Garoppolo and the Niners now. Down by 2 touchdowns. A minute 56 to go. Field goals, useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. There's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into 1st down and then some. To throw is Garoppolo. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Pernell McPhee, always a threat to find the QB, and he gets to him there. On 2nd and a long way to go. Garoppolo. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And who's got it? I think the Ravens do, yes. And they're going to win this football game. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Jackson to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Now it's Jackson, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Shakes off the sag. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Malcolm Smith. And that will force a turnover on downs. Now it's the Niners' turn. Trailing by a touchdown. A little under 30 seconds remaining. This one to Bourne out on the left side. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 10 seconds to go. Garoppolo to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. One final try now for Garoppolo. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. But, Charles, a one-score game. Down to the end we went. They had one final play in that one-score game. We all knew what was coming, the Hail Mary. They just couldn't get it done.
Wasn't exactly complicated, was it? We all knew, as you said, and go long and see if we can find someone open. They didn't get it done. Someone's happy. Someone is not.
So for the Ravens, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead, they fall to 5-7. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to